Hello. Hello. Sorry, I think they are doing some construction work above my flat. Okay, I hope we are able to carry on with the live. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Welcome. Welcome to another live session. Let me add. Hello, once again. Okay, my co-host is joining me. Hey.
Hey. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
Very well, thank you. And how are you too?
I'm good. I think they are doing some construction work above my house. The flat above. So there's some.
Okay. Yes, I can hear you very well.
So I'm sure we'll be having some interruption intermittently. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know.
Okay, in terms of banging and all of that.
Yeah, and drilling.
Oh,
it's actually yeah. But we have to carry on, yeah? How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm good.
You look good.
Thank you. You look good too, as always.
Thank you. Thank you.
If she said is going to join us a bit late, maybe 5 minutes late.
Okay.
And then our other, we're going to be, we have another lady in the house today. Don't think she's here yet. Okay. You good?
Yes, I am.
So today is going to be like freestyle, yeah?
Yeah.
Topic. So let us just freestyle it, and we'll have a professional in the house as well that will come and give us the professional angle. But let's see how we can give our own views. And even those that are watching, you're all welcome to come give your views. So once again, welcome to Hot Mom Live Session. My name remains Ediri. And here with me is my co-host, AB. Today's topic, like I already said, it's a topic that I think everybody knows about. I'm sure by now, everybody knows that how you feel on the inside of you is more important than how you feel on the outside, than how you look on the outside. How you feel on the inside is way more important than how you look on the outside. You can't judge people by their experiences, by their lived experiences, from the way they look on the outside. No. I think people who do that, who stereotype and do all that should stop. Stop. Please just stop. Today's topic is your body is talking to you. Are you listening? Your body is talking to you. Are you listening? Have you ever wondered if your body is trying to tell you something important that you might be missing? Your body might be telling you something important that you might actually be missing. Well, by the end of today's live session, we all should have a better understanding on how to interpret the signals that our body send to us and why these signals are crucial towards our overall well-being. This is an information you won't want to miss. You won't want to miss it. Like I said, there's a doctor that will be coming to join us. So guys, get comfortable. Get ready with your questions. If you have any burning questions, there will be a Q&A session as well. Let's get started. Please don't forget to share, don't forget to like, and don't forget to comment. Feel free to share your thoughts, your experiences. We're all here. This is an interactive session, like I said, and I would really love to hear from our viewers. Yeah. So get ready to discover the incredible ways that you can communicate with your body. Yeah. So, yeah. I have a story here that I want to tell. I try to jot some points down so that I don't forget some of the crucial points. Once upon a time, in the bustling city of Lagos, there lived a man named Ejiro. I chose the name Ejiro because I'm from Delta. So Ejiro was a very charismatic and jovial guy, a very jovial soul. He loved storytelling. He had a zest for life. He had this infectious laughter and cheerful disposition that was known even in his workplace, where he lived. You know, he was such a warm soul. But something was missing in Ejiro's life that people didn't know about. There was a secret that weighed heavily on his heart. Underneath all that cheerful nature of his was that for years he had been struggling with his health. Ejiro had been struggling with his health. You know, Lagos, those of us that have, yeah, my doctor is here. Let me bring her on quickly. Okay, let me continue while she tries to join us. So, you know, those of us that lived in Lagos for a while, we know how tedious it can be to work in one end of the city while living at the other end. Hey, doctor. Okay, let me introduce her at once before we move on. This is Dr. Swino. She has, let me see, she has a PhD. She has a PhD in reproductive and developmental anatomy. We're going to have another PhD guy in the house today as well. So, I mean, you can't beat this live session today. You are filled with people with doctorate degree, yeah? It's a thing of pride for me. Welcome, Swino. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Good evening, doctor. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Auntie Abby. Long time.
Yes, good to see you again.
Good evening.
Let me add, try to add our next dog. Hey, Dr. Ifechi. How are you?
I'm fine.
Welcome, welcome. So I've just introduced the fourth person amongst us. She's the newest face here. I'm sure our viewers already know all of us. But the new face you have introduced her, she is Dr. Swesme, although we call her Swino, Dr. Swino. She has a PhD.
Hey, my love, dear.
Okay, yes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Her full name is Dr. Swesme. Ehioma Alozie. I'm correct, right?
Yes.
Yes. So she has a PhD in reproductive and developmental health. And she's here. She will be the one to really guide us in this topic. So I was trying to tell a story of a certain man called Ejiro who lived in the city of Lagos. He lived in one end of the city while working at the other end. You know, usually for those who live in Lagos, you know how hectic it is to live on the mainland, for instance, or at the end of the island and then work in a place like that. So for many, many years, Ejiro suffered health challenges. He suffered going to work, waking up early to beat the traffic, you know. You stay hours on the road, to and fro work, his poor eating habits, his uninformed choices about self-care and staying in wellness and things like that. All that took a toll on Ejiro, and there was a day he took ill and he couldn't come to work, so he had to go to the hospital. While at the hospital, he stumbled on an article that was titled, "How Healthy Am I?" So he was intrigued by the title and he read it. It was a topic that was written by a certain Dr. Ada Obi. So Ada Obi in that article discussed various aspects of health, from physical fitness to mental well-being to nutrition, self-care, balanced diet, regular exercises, and the need to prioritize your mental health. And how all these can in turn even affect your sexual health. So when he read that, he was captivated. Of course, he knew what was wrong with him. Ordinarily, you would think that he was suffering from maybe stress or maybe malaria or whatever. But after reading this article, he decided to contact Dr. Adobe because there was a phone number at the bottom of the article. He contacted Dr. Adobe and he summoned the courage because it was difficult for something that was affecting him like that, because he was intrigued, especially by that part that says these things, this kind of lifestyle that he was living could affect his reproductive health. So maybe he was suffering from something like that as well. So he summoned the courage and decided to be vulnerable enough to contact the doctor. And the doctor guided him, took him through the process of transformative health, and he started with some very, very small changes to his diet, by incorporating maybe fruits and vegetables and things like that. And over time, he went over to going to the gym. Actually, the first thing he did was, when he took it like that, he knew that the job was too much for him. So he actually stopped. See, this story that I'm telling, it's a true life story, but I've incorporated some things. But the job stopping part was actually true. He had to stop working. He had to stop working. He quit the job and prioritized his health and explored even the process of mindfulness and meditation techniques, things like that. He delved really deep into how to take care of his health. And over time, his health began to improve. He developed a new sense of confidence. And more than that, he found support from the doctor and from going to attend the doctor's health talks, because Dr. Adobe used to organize health talks. So he used to attend even those health talks, and over time, he was able to form his own community where he shared his story. He shared his story and people got inspired, and yeah. So I'm just trying to say that after he left his job, he still was able to create something for his life. He was able to create a group of people, a community where he was now sharing his story, and people were attracted to the group. And then over time, he turned it into a business by collaborating with this doctor, you know. So in the beginning, he left his job, but along the line, he was able to create a business for himself. So that's just a word of encouragement I want to give to people out there. Most times we do things that we don't really like. We have jobs that we don't like, and we are sticking with them. We probably want to take care of our physical look. We want to go out running, even when we don't feel like going. We want to force ourselves to go running. Sometimes when your body is telling you, giving you a message, let's try and listen to our bodies. You see, this wellness industry, I want to say something here. The wellness industry is a very complex one. It keeps telling us, oh, we must eat certain food, we must drink certain things, we must live a certain way, or do the right kind of workout, you know. But what they don't tell us most times is that we should listen to our bodies. As far as I'm concerned, something like a weight loss tea is just a laxative and hot water. Do you get? So that's what I feel. What they don't tell us is to listen to our bodies, because this one-size-fits-all program that they set out, although I see that some people are trying to customize programs for people now, yeah, but the one-size-fits-all thing that they put out there, or the textbook structure of, okay, if you're feeling this way, you have to do this, it doesn't work for everyone. So we all need, as human beings, as human beings, at different stages in our lives, we all need different things at different times of our lives, especially because we are also aging. So I want to talk a bit about holistic wellness, which is what we should actually focus on. Mostly, people just talk about diets or exercise, but we forget other sides, other things, you know, that we should also look at regarding our lives that would, I don't know how I'm going to explain it. For instance, you could be like the story of this guy. He was feeling a certain type of way, and he went to the hospital. He could have thought, oh, maybe it's malaria. But it was probably the stress of life that affected him. And now, you see, he even discovered that he was having issues with his reproductive system. So it was the stress from the job that affected him to the point that it was now beginning to affect even his sexual life. Do you get? So sometimes whatever is wrong with us may not be physical. It may not also be mental. It could be emotional. It could be social. It could be because we are not socializing enough. We just need to go out. Sometimes we need to just go out and let go of our issues and hang out with people, you know, with family and people you love. Do the things you love. Go out. It could be spiritual. You know, you need to, we all need our spiritual wellness. I mean, spiritual wellness involves finding meaning and purpose and engaging in practices that will give you inner peace. So wherever you find that, you could go there, and whatever you're facing may not be physical, like I said. It could just be spiritual. It could be occupational wellness that you need. It could be environmental wellness. It could be financial wellness. It could be creative wellness. Some of us, we have tried to, you know, incorporate even creativity into our lives, despite, for instance, our doctor here, Dr. Swino, she plays the organ. She's a doctor, yeah, but she has also discovered something that she can find solace in, which is playing the organ. So sometimes when we have things going on in our lives, it may not just be physical, it may not be emotional, it may be social, it may be that we need to look inward and get something creative doing, you know, tap into our creativity. It could be that. So I want to conclude my introduction by saying that we should not wait, we shouldn't delay in being friends with our bodies. The journey to make our entire life a little bit better can start now. Yeah, not just our body, but our entire life. So that is how I want to end it. Thank you. I will hand over the mic to anyone that wants to. You can just raise your hand if you want to say whatever you want to say. You have an addition, you have a contribution, you want to share your experience. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, Iziri, for your introduction. I think you touched all the areas. Listening to your body is to me is being mindfully aware of how your body usually feels, so that you know when your body is feeling different. You know how your body usually feels. Every morning you wake up feeling happy, bright, and all of that. Then one morning your body is not your usual way. That means you need to sit back and listen to your body. You may be coming down with a cold, you may be coming down with a fever. If you listen very well, you find out that there's a shift in your body mechanism. So we don't have to take listening to our body for granted at all. So our body gives us signs. Most times, when we want to be down with malaria, it starts with a headache. You say, "Oh, I'm feeling woozy. I'm having a headache and all of that." The next thing, maybe you're having cough, runny nose, and all of that, and the next moment you're down. But if you listen to your body carefully, at that point, at the starting stage, you now know that, oh, it's like I'm going to come down with this sickness, or I'm going to come down with a cold. Let me drink hot water or do this or that. If you listen to your body very well, you won't neglect the signs your body is giving you. So I think that's that.
All right. Thank you for your contribution. I would want our new doctor to be the one to speak last. So, Dr. Ifechi, at this point, I would want you to come in.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. Um, what we're trying to say here on the topic that's introduced by Dewey is, listening to your body. So it can't boils down to like a practical experience. Um, when your body tells you this is how I'm feeling. Like an average person knows how they feel on a regular day. Even somebody who is sick, who is even perpetually sick, knows the days that the sickness is normal and knows that the days the sickness has gone haywire.
Yeah.
So it boils down to self awareness and also intuition to be able to understand what is happening to you. Then, when it comes to health wise, which is all about awareness, how are you understanding your body? Do you have the knowledge? Because most times people don't have the knowledge. Like uh, for the people that are in healthcare, uh, our doctor in the house here would tell us better. But for the people that are in healthcare, certain tribes have different things that help them check and maintain their self-awareness in terms of their awareness. Something like the Chinese people. The Chinese people know that they take a lot of fresh foods and they take a lot of teas, which will drive away toxins in the body. And when they take those things, kind of increase out their system and they live healthy. So since I'm not a professional medical doctor, I'm not going to specialize on that, but I'm going to talk on general well-being. So there are basic principles of hygiene that people need to follow. And when people follow those basic hygiene principles like washing your hands, taking your bath, brushing your teeth, cleaning your ears, rubbing roll on, dressing well. You wouldn't have certain things happening to you. So basically, when we listen to our body tells us when we wake up in the morning, this is how you're feeling. Whether you are very okay that day or you have any issues. Like somebody who has a running tummy, maybe it's because of something you ate the night before. And if you see that you're now purging and you're running to the restroom or you're vomiting, then it might be a food bug. So there are basic little things that people need to note about their body. And then there's what they call gut feeling. If your gut feeling is somebody tells you, hey, somebody invites you to a party or somewhere, and your spirit tells you, don't go, you know, or you can go, or just go late. That's a gut feeling. So it's just everybody has an inner thought or inner spirit, just like how we are created by God. Every human being knows what is right or wrong. It's just because you choose what you want to do. So that's what I feel. So being aware and being able to kind of understand your body, understand what your body is telling you, understand how you're feeling. Your general wellness determines how far you go with your health. And health is called wealth. If you don't take care of yourself, then there's no wealth for you because before everything comes, health is the first. That's why they say health is wealth. So I believe that for us to be able to know and understand ourselves, we need to kind of watch our day-to-day activities and know and tell ourselves, this is how I'm feeling, or this is how I'm okay. When I'm 100% okay, this is how my body feels. When I'm not okay, this is how my body feels. Sometimes also when you're tired and you're having headache. Some might just be like an ordinary rest because you have worked too much. So, but every human being has a level of stress that you can follow. So, with that level of stress, you must maintain a small level of stress. Life is not all about bed of roses. There's a level of stress that you face every day as a human being. Like when you wake up in the morning, to bath is stress, to drink water is stress, to eat is stress. All those things are all part of human existence. So, but the ability for you to listen to your body will determine how well you will be and how you can take care of yourself. And when you're sick, you go to the hospital. And that's my own little contribution.
Okay.
We can't hear
Can
you.
hear you.
We can hear
Can't hear
you.
you.
Oh, sorry. I muted.
Okay.
Okay. You want me to talk now?
Yes, you can go ahead, Doc.
Okay, okay. Okay. Listening to your body. Wow, it's a very important topic because as human beings, in fact, as a person, myself, I don't listen to myself. I don't listen to my body. My body speaks to me on a daily basis, but I barely listen. And I believe it happens to so many people. In fact, I'll be talking more about women because I'm a woman person. I'm sorry about that, Dr. Ifechi, because mostly my specialization has to do with women. So I do more of women stuff. And because of the kind of jobs I've done, I've mainly concentrated on women, children. So you would understand why I would like to talk more of women. It's a general thing. Whatever we're talking about, listening to your body, speaking and all that, it's for everybody, both male and female. However, there is this thing about women mostly, you know, in our teens, we all jump around, 20s, maybe we get married early, start having children, you're up and doing, in the morning you wake up 4 a.m., you're awake, strong woman, you bathe the children, you send them to school, you cook, you prepare for your husband, you prepare for yourself, you go to work, you come back, you know, life goes on, you're strong, you're healthy, you're moving, and so on. But then, sometimes you begin to ask yourself, I woke up this morning, I feel so tired. What did I do? Why am I so tired? You begin to experience this weakness, tiredness, headache. And a lot of times, especially in this our part of the world, when you feel this way, what comes to your mind first? Malaria. More often than not. What comes to the mind first is malaria. We barely think of any other thing. And a lot of times, and we are very, very good at self-medication. You just grab your paracetamol and you're good to go. Or you go a step further, grab your anti-malarials and you move, you know. But it goes beyond that, especially as women. Because as you grow old, as the years go by, you know, especially for those who are married, you've started having children, maybe you started having children in your late 20s or early 30s, and you were still moving, you're a working class woman, whether working or not working is the same thing. And you know, as women, when you start giving birth, naturally, for each child you give birth to, you lose. You lose. And you bleed every month, women, you know, something is leaving you. And you don't expect to remain the same. Every month you lose blood. Every month you lose blood. Okay, you carry pregnancy for 9 months, and then you deliver. During the process of delivery, you lose so much blood. And you think you will always be that rocky going woman, carrying the children, moving it all, superwoman. You know, women are super beings. That's the way we see it. But then it gets to a point in time when you feel that something must be wrong with you. Why is it that I'm always weak? My husband didn't beat me. I'm not really sick, but you're sick, you know? Why am I so tired? Why do I have these frequent headaches? Why do I have pains all over my body? Why? But today I wasn't really too busy at work, so why am I so weak? Why this, why that? Oh, I'm eating well. I don't miss my 3 square meals. I don't do this, I don't do that. So why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? It's the body speaking. But more often than not, we don't really pay attention to those calls by the body, because we rather think of so many other things. But the truth is, there's something changing in the body. And basically, we have what we call hormones in the body. Everybody knows about that, hormones, fine. And some schools of thought believe that if all the hormones are balanced in the body, you will hardly have a cause to run to your physician. There are certain professional things I may not talk about because I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a reproductive anatomist, reproductive and developmental anatomist. However, as an anatomist, there is a little I can tell about how our body works. You know, the hormones we have in the body, especially these very important hormones called estrogen and progesterone. You'll be amazed at what these hormones, the presence or absence of this hormone can do in the body, or in low quantities or in higher quantities, higher than normal quantities can do in the body. You know, sometimes I'm sure as I'm saying this, our minds are going to something, right? Like menopause, you know, but the question is, how about younger ladies in their mid-30s to late 30s have these issues? It's not just about I'm 50, I'm 45, It can also happen at an early age, you know. The more these hormones, the more the years go by, these hormones begin to depreciate in the body. And the more they depreciate, the more the body begins to respond slowly to things that normally on a good day you should be able to do, and you won't be able to do them again. You'll be wondering why. It may not be one out of the moon illness. Your kidneys are okay, your liver is okay, your brain is okay, everything is okay. But there is just one tiny thing in the body that is not okay, that is causing all this cascade of events. And because in our own part of the world also, we are not really good at, you just wake up and all you want to do is go to the hospital for a checkup. We don't do that, you know, for so many reasons, majorly financial reasons, and then ignorance, no information. A lot of people are not well informed. There are also people who have the money, they have the financial capacity to take very good care of themselves, but because they are not informed, their money is there and they are dying, you know. So it is very important that at every point in time, especially when we get to anything 35 and above, there's something we call blood work. Very important, especially for women. It's also very important for men, you know, because their own androgens also depreciate with age. However, for women, blood work is very important, you know, going out there, go to your physician, they check your hormones, they tell you, oh, your progesterone level is low, your estrogen level is low, or thyroid level is low, or hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism, as the case may be. Because you might just be there having these palpitations. You begin to ask yourself, sometimes, you know, in this our setting, the first thing that will come to your mind is, they don't do me for my village. You know, nobody do you for your village. It's your hormones speaking, your body is speaking. You need to listen. You really need to listen. Fatigue, unnecessary, in fact, inexplicable fatigue. You know, the little things you're able to do without assistance. Sometimes you find yourself you're unable to do it. Sometimes you just find yourself unnecessary mood swings, you know. And in this our own parts of the world also, people suffer depression without knowing what they are passing through, you know, and it's very common. A lot of times, the cause of this is also the hormonal issues, okay? And then we pass through so many things. You may notice symptoms that you may not even explain, like in women, most especially, you might notice forgetfulness, you know, unnecessary temperature changes in your body, your stamina has reduced, you know. Sometimes you begin to also experience low self-esteem, and you may ask yourself, but this is not me. Even places where ordinarily you could have just walked into, you feel lazy about it because you're experiencing low self-esteem. It's not like anything has happened to you. It's from within. It's coming from within because something has gone wrong. Your estrogen is imbalanced, or your progesterone is imbalanced. Sometimes you feel nauseated unnecessarily. Sometimes you begin to feel, for women, tenderness in the breast. You know, normally when you're close to your period, you feel tenderness in the breast, but this may become more frequent, you know, and you may not understand. Sometimes there may also be lumps. You may experience, observe lumps in the breast. maybe your heartbeat, it's called palpitations, will just change. There are times you will just see yourself like panting, and you didn't go for inter-house sports. And you ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Your skin, maybe your skin used to glow in the past. Suddenly you lose resilience in your skin. You lose like you feel, you don't, as a lady or a woman, you don't feel that your self-confidence, oh, my pretty looking self, like maybe you feel parts of your body sagging. Sometimes you don't even sleep well, your sleeping cycle is distorted. You may want to feel like taking sleeping pills to help you, because every time you wake up from sleep, you're still feeling sleepy. That agility is reducing and all the rest. It may not be malaria, it may not be typhoid fever, it may not be kidney failure, heart failure, cardiac arrest, blah, blah, blah. No, it's just one tiny thing, just the hormones. As unimportant as they may seem, we don't talk about them and so forth. They are so important that what happens to you is like, maybe you should have had one of those heavy names, but it's just the hormones. And with as little as a blood work, you get to understand, oh, it's my hormones, just because you have seen a physician, you're able to, they ask you to go for this test, and they run the test, and they're able to identify that maybe it's estrogen, it's progesterone, it's testosterone. We have testosterone is a male hormone, but it's present in women also. Just like the estrogen is a female hormone, but it's also present in men in smaller quantities. Okay, your thyroid has gone low or is too high, and things like that. All those things put together have a lot they do in our body. But do we really listen? We need to really listen. Sometimes we just have to speak up. You have a partner, you speak to your partner. Communication is very key in this, because like as a married woman, you're with your husband, you're having all these issues. There is this withdrawal syndrome, and you begin to have issues with your husband, and it will be like there's a big issue at home, but it's really no issue, just because you're not communicating, either because you yourself, you're not aware of what is happening to you, or even if you are aware, you're not communicating. And of course, the man doesn't know what is happening to you, and then he just starts complaining. He feels you are withdrawing, he feels you're not doing this, you're not doing that, but it is just for lack of communication, lack of understanding. And I can assure you, if there is this understanding, information is there, and there's communication, he can help you, especially like, this, when age is going, menopause doesn't just come. All these issues may just start arising. That is pre-menopausal signs, okay? And like I said earlier, it's not just about 50-year-old though. Even as early as 35 can start experiencing these issues. And just with a little understanding, you know what is happening to you, and you just balance your hormones. You see yourself kicking, and you're able to move around, do your little bit on a daily basis. Beyond going for very expensive drugs and all that, which of course, in this case, synthetic drugs are not really the answer. Synthetic hormones are not really the answer. Natural hormones, which in this part of our world we may not really come across. In the developed countries, they are able to constitute biological hormones that are natural, which are just best, But then, as little as a good nutrition, leaving out certain things, lifestyle is very key to being fit when you listen to your body. and a lot has been said already. As little as an exercise, regular exercise that just makes you sweat for a short while, maybe in the morning, in the evening, goes a long way to keep your hormones, your endocrine system moving. Just a little rest, when you find yourself in this situation with all this, one thing is key. Um, um, we have a hormone called melatonin secreted into the blood. It is very important. Just with your regular sleep cycle, it helps your melatonin and it goes a long way. Like you organize yourself such that, I'm saying this, it's not really easy for us women, because when the kids come crying, mommy this, mommy that, even if you had said, my sleeping time is 9 p.m., my waking time is 4 a.m., how about when one thing or the other and you're still attending to the kids or one thing or the other till 10, till 11, what do you do? It's one of those things you may not really help, but you just have to try. So I have said as simple as having a regular sleep cycle can go a long way to help your hormones and help your entire body system as you listen to your body. As little as water, hydrating yourself goes a long way to help balance your system, support your endocrine system, very importantly, let your partner know, or whoever is with you, to help you, and then don't fail to see a professional who will guide you on what to do, because when you're experiencing all these things, you may not really know what is happening. If you are not told, if you don't see a professional who will help you, who will even recommend that you should go run this test, go do this kind of investigations and so on, you may not really know. So communication is key. You must speak up. When you go to bed and the next thing you see yourself sweating, you don't have to hide it. You don't have to feel, oh, my life has ended as a woman. And then you start hiding. That's what we do because of our society. We hide a lot. Societal influence, we hide a lot. But I think speaking up, if you have friends, you have family, you have a good support system that you can always speak to, it will guide, it will help a lot. And most importantly, what we're talking about, listening to your body. When you listen, what do you hear? What does your body tell you? Your body tells you you're weak, your body tells you you're having headache. So is it just malaria? Is it just fever? Is it just, sometimes you just say, oh, I'm stressed. But what is causing this stress? Listening to your body, it goes a long way. When you listen, you act, follow the body. What is it telling you? You follow up, you act, and by God's grace, ultimately, you kick. So that's about it. Just a speck, because it's a very large topic you've decided to delve into. It's very wide, but I just decided to catch this aspect because it's one aspect that gives me a lot of concern, especially for us women, So that's it
All right.
for now.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. In fact, what you've given us tonight, it's something that should be paid for, yeah? But we've just got it on the platter of gold like this. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I would love that we share a bit of personal experiences as well, very briefly, because we usually try to do our live within an hour. So if anybody, any of you wants to quickly share a personal experience of how you felt and what you did notice and what did you do, you know, quickly, if any of you want to share. Because
Okay,
yes.
since I've talked about this, let me just share a quick one. Listening to my body, I know lately I experienced a lot of fatigue and all that and all that. And since I know somehow, I know what is happening, this is how I used to help myself. Of course, we also talk about supplements, good supplements. But this is what I used to do. Ultimately, I pray and God helps me. However, I observed that even when I wake up so weak, tired, and everything, if I just take a walk out as early as 5 a.m., 5:30 a.m., I jog, I take in deep breaths, breathing exercises, and sweat a little. By the time I come back, take a shower, I see myself moving, get the kids running and all that, and we are going. And I go to work and I move, But that really encouraged me that it's not just in the books. When you really practice it, it works. It works a lot. We call it little. Exercise is very important. It's fantastic. If you practice it, it does a lot in the body. I've experienced it a lot of times, and that's why I can say it.
All right. Thank you, Doctor, once again. Talking about exercise, I am one of those who believe that the human body was made not to sit in one place, but made for movement. Because everything, all our organs, all our cells, all our organs made up of cells, yeah? They are all moving. So why would you want to stay in one place? So I think movement is a great part of, should be a great part of your regimen if you want to be healthy, life. Another thing I wanted to talk about, I don't know, Ifechi, do you want to share your experience quickly? Because I'm sure you'll be running back to work.
Yeah, so the human body is made up of 80% water. So I discovered that, and that has helped me a lot. I always drink enough water, keep myself hydrated, and like some of the things like people that have stroke, if you have enough water in your system, drink enough water, you hardly have stroke in your lifetime. So this is an advice for everybody. Is proven and tested. If you don't want to ever have stroke, no matter the kind of blood pressure you have, once you take enough fluid, it's just because there's no liquid to carry the blood to the head or there's a blockage. And when you have clogged arteries, it might cause problem for you. So I always take water. So I encourage everybody to take water. So when you take water, you see that you live just like you bath with water and it cleanses your body. That's how water cleanses your internal system as well. So less on consumption of soda, less on consumption of alcohol, drugs, and all that. Because at the end of the day, all these things end up in the liver and the kidney. And a time will come when those organs are no longer able to process those toxins. Because everything you put inside your body is like poison to the body. But the body has a system how it dries things out of your body. So water is a wonderful therapy. And even in our popular Fela music, Fela said, "Water not get enemy." That is to tell you that water is a great asset for everybody. So that's my own contribution.
Yeah, we are practicing it.
Okay, I also want to add there that in all, because you can be drinking water and be neglecting another side, another aspect of your wellness. So I think we should, as much as possible, make it holistic, as much as possible. Remember, you might be drinking water from now till tomorrow. If you're not having enough sleep, I don't know if water can make you sleep, but if you're not, if you're not having enough sleep, your system is not balanced. Let's take the human body like a building, yeah, your house, because
Yeah.
it's actually us, yeah. So try to think of ways that you can renovate it from time to time. Maybe today you want to do a little bit of painting or a little bit of decoration, you know, things like that. So that way we'll be able to balance the whole. Let's not focus on, let's say, going to our houses of worship from Monday to Friday and you're not doing your exercise, or you're doing fasting all the way and you're not eating balanced diet that should keep you in shape or keep your body in shape, you know, things like that. So that is what I feel. And then also socializing in the sense of going to places that give you joy. You know, maybe hanging out with your family is what gives you joy. You know, hanging out with friends or just going out to the mall is what gives you joy. We all have different things that make us feel happy and feel like we're socializing with the world. Yeah. So let's not forget that as well. Let's try and always balance it. That's the point I'm trying to make. I don't know if it's clear enough. So yeah. AB, I'll also share one experience, but before I share that, if you have your experience to share, any experience to share, yeah, we would love that.
For me, I try as much as possible to listen to my body, because I know that the times I listened to my body more than usual, if I always came up with something that needed medical attention. There was once I had a little growth on a little swelling on my neck. Ordinarily, if I wasn't looking, I would have just looked at my neck and said, in fact, that day I saw that growth, I just said, I told my husband that my neck is a little bit swollen. He said, don't worry, it's shadow. Maybe it's nothing to worry about. But I looked at the mirror and I saw that this thing was different from my normal self. Went forgot about it that day, the next day, and some days later, went to the hospital, and they realized that it was a goiter that was growing, and I sought medical attention and all of that. Maybe if I didn't do, and it boiled down to Dr. Swinomi having hyperthyroidism. Yes, and I didn't know. There wasn't much symptom in the physical, but that growth, pointed at it. And at the end of the day, if I didn't do a thyroidectomy, I don't know what would have happened. Because I know of people who have goiter, and at the end of the day, it becomes cancerous, and all of that. So you try as much as possible to listen to your body. As little as the color of your urine goes a long way to tell you something is wrong. When I go to urinate and my urine is very, very dark, it's very, very dark, I just know that I'm dehydrated, that I need to drink a lot of water, or I need to drink more water. And when I do that, everything comes normal. So when you listen to your body, it does not necessarily mean you have to rush to the hospital. You're having a headache, as simple as sleeping may just cure that headache. Except you're already being monitored by the doctor, or you're treating for a particular thing. Little lifestyle changes go a long way with us, so we shouldn't neglect listening to our body. I've had 9 surgeries, and at one point or the other, those things would have caused more harm to me, but it was detected early. Like my husband would always tell you, I don't want to be sick to that extent where when I go to the hospital, the doctor will tell me, Mr. Obiora, if you had come 2 days ago, this thing would have been treated, but you're late. We all want to live, or at least we all want to live old. We all want to grow old. So anything that will help us into achieving that um, age, that old age, we should try as much as possible to do that. Thank you.
very inspirational. Even though I've heard these stories before, you know. In my house, I am the one that goes looking for like healthy solutions and things like that in my house here. And I think that stemmed from my love for science as a child. You know, when I was really young, I wanted to become a doctor actually. But I don't know where life can carry me go right now, you know. But I wanted to become a doctor, and at that time, my dad bought me some health science books that I always, you know, would read, and that introduced me to the consciousness around germs and things like that, you know, diseases and disease causing germs and things like that. So those books introduced, I read them over and over again, and of course I did sciences while I was in school. So now I am, like I said, I'm the one that goes looking for like healthy solutions if something is wrong. I don't just want us to go taking medications. I don't like taking medications. I don't. So I try to look for alternative, you know. So even at some point in my life, I try to do veganism. I try to be a vegan. I started in January 2018. I did the whole of that year, and then by the second year, I was already stumbling because I started feeling very weak. I started feeling a certain type of way. I started missing the food. I know that all that would come to play, yeah? If you're staying away from something that you really love to, you would have all that. But I just came to a point where I said, well, that I don't want to stay completely away from the things I love to do. It could be food, it could be anything. I don't want to totally stay away from them. I don't want to abstain from them. So even though I don't buy those things in my house, if I go out and you offer me, I eat them. So I'm no longer a vegan, I would say, yeah, but I don't buy them so that I can control how I eat them, how much of them I put in my body. So, but the person I introduced veganism to, like I said, I'm the one that goes looking for all these healthy things. I introduced veganism to someone. The person is still in it till now. You know, the person is still going strong. So we all have different thresholds and tolerance levels. So it boils down to us understanding our bodies and what our body needs and just honoring our bodies. I think that's what I'm trying my own. So I wish you also to honor your body. Some people might decide, some people might be, you will see them and say, oh, why is this person this fat? I think that's very bad because you don't know what they are going through that, you know, made them to look the way they do. It could be they're even taking hormonal medication to hold something or to stabilize something in their system. But the fat is an after effect of whatever it is they are taking. Do you get? So I think we should stop this habit of, or the culture of judging people and thinking that being slim is the best thing. You know, being slim is the best because that's what these wellness people, that's what they promote as well.
They tell us,
They tell us, but I am totally against that. So I think that's how I'm going to conclude for tonight. If there's any other addition, you wanted to say something, if there's any other thing.
Look, listening to your body holistically as well goes a long way. You know, bitterness, how bitter are you? Sometimes when people are very bitter, they come up with high blood pressure or unforgiveness, all those kind of things. They are things we should not just set aside. Like you said, the way you talk to people, the way you talk to people will go a long way to help them calm down or even help them revolt. It will help them brew anger and all of that. So when you go to somebody's house, when you see an unorganized person, to a large extent, the person's house has something to tell you about how the person's life is. and we should just try. We should just try as much as possible. It's not easy for me. I have the love of going to the gym. I have the love of exercising. Even though I say the body is willing, but the spirit is weak. I find out that each time I take walks, each time I do one physical activity or the other in the gym, I come back very happy. So even when my mood is low, when I'm feeling very low, I just pick my gym bag and I go. And I come back feeling very different from the way I left. So those little perks we can add to being happy, to being healthy. We should try as much as possible not to neglect them. We should try as much as possible not to neglect them. That's what I'm going to add.
Yeah, and if you don't feel like it, please stay in bed. Stop
Exactly.
yourself, because for me, I see that you're punishing yourself. You don't feel like going out to run, but you want to meet up that timetable that says, oh, at this time you
I
must.
have to do
Yes.
this.
If
Yes.
you don't feel like it, please stop punishing yourself. Just listen to
Yeah.
that's all we're trying to say.
Yeah.
Doctor, anything else you want to add before I end the live?
Well, a lot has been said. Listening to your body, like you just said now, if you don't feel like it, like Abby has said, when you go do exercise, that's why I said in these hormonal issues, mood swings, depression, and all that, that's where exercise plays a whole lot of important role, because when you go exercising, endorphins are secreted in the body in high quantities. You see yourself being happy, you know,
Yeah.
the hormone called the happy hormone. You know, that's why it plays a big role in keeping you healthy and fit. You know, but in all, like you said, if you don't feel like it, if the body is speaking, just listen. If the body says, yes, you have to do the exercise, but right now, what I need
Oh,
is lying down,
it's sweet.
just lie
Yeah.
down. If the body says, no, what I need right now is water, please take water. If the body says what I need now is food, good food, balanced diet doesn't mean I have a big bowl of rice, a big bowl of chicken with pomo and a bottle of chilled Coke and the likes of them around me. So that's a good meal. No, 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 no. That's a good meal of sickness being infused into the body. But a light, good meal of the important grains, vegetables, fruits around you, you know, good water, clean water to drink and all that is a good meal. If the body says what I need now is a good meal, please listen. If the body says now, what I need now, what you need now is a prayer, meditation, wonderful. That is the best thing your body needs ultimately. Go on your knees, lie down on your bed, pick up your Bible, just say a word of prayer, thank God, thanksgiving, praise it. It goes another long way to keep you good going, listening to the body. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think we've all said enough, and at this point, we'll just end the live. Thank you to all our viewers. Thank you for us. Thank you for stopping by. Please share the live and send in your comments. Even after the live is ended, you can still send in your comments, and we'll read them, we'll respond to them. If you want to send a DM, it's also fine. You can send a DM to any of us, and then we'll do what we have to do behind the scene. So thank you so much for joining us today. See you next Tuesday. Yes, next Tuesday at the same time. Take care, guys.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you, Dr. Swino. Thank you.
Thank you.